Hey everybody, how's it going? We are using the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot deck for this reading. We are starting off with Eight of Cups, and we also have Page of Pentacles, we have Queen of Swords, we have Two of Pentacles. Eight of Cups is kind of landing reversed. I don't want to neglect the fact that it's coming out like that, so I want to pull some more and just get context for this. If we do indeed have an Eight of Cups coming out reversed, it can mean that there can be something that you thought was over, like it wasn't going to work or happen or something like that, and something can be changing where there can be actually like I'm coming back to it, or like returning to it, or like maybe I'm not finished. That can be something that comes back up. Like maybe it's, you could be returning to something because you feel like it's going to help you maybe see something that you need to see. This can also be like I'm going to reconsider something that I didn't think was an option before, or something that I wrote off even. Maybe you feel like you need to go back to something and reconsider it because you do want to consider it as an option. Maybe before you had a reason for writing this off, and now you can be like, I don't know if I want to do that. Like maybe you felt too quick to do it, or it just didn't feel final when that decision was being made, or it doesn't anymore. This can be about determining what's really important to you, and it can be about what's relevant for you. I feel like it's going to help you figure something out. Sometimes we need to go back to something to look at something again, to see something again. So yeah, it could have just been something you felt like energetically you were finished with, that now the story can be changing, and it feels like feels like you being in this spot, and that simultaneously whatever this is that you can be backtracking with, it can also be helping you push forward. Yeah, sometimes we need to return to something because we weren't really finished with it, and this can eventually help you push forward. Maybe you feel like without this, that, I don't know, I feel like you can feel like you need this for some type of progress, and maybe without going back into it, you feel like you can't push forward in the way that you want to, or you can't go somewhere that you want to go. Like maybe you need whatever is tied to the experience of this. That can be the way that you feel about it. But yeah, it can be something that at one point in time you were like, I'm done with this. Like I'm not going back to it, and now it's like you started moving forward, and then I don't know if this is going to maybe give you some more context for your future, help you determine something about that. It's kind of what it seems like. Why weren't you considering this before? Like, why would you have walked away from this in the first place? I want to know, what were you thinking when you were like, nah, I'm done with that? Maybe you weren't seeing everything about this situation. I feel more than that. I get like not seeing everything. So from a space that you were looking at this and you were not seeing everything, you could have like dispatched. But now there's the return of it. Maybe you're seeing something that you weren't seeing before. Okay, so what decides to bring you back? I'm seeing it's helping you with something having to do with moving forward, progress, progressing. Just get this feeling of needing to go back for some reason. Some of you guys, this situation, maybe you felt like you couldn't like think clearly or see clearly within it. Maybe it was something that it was hard to perceive accurately. That could have been part of the reason why you walked away in the first place. Now, the reason for returning, 9 of Wands came out reversed, so maybe you like try to get away from it, and the feeling was that you didn't like have something that you needed to like fully make that transition happen. That can be part of this. It can feel like something got too difficult, and so you're returning to this. That can be the reason too. You know, with 9 of Wands reversed, it can be when we like actually run out of gas, and so you kind of have to like hike back to wherever you came from, and that can be part of the reason of this too. Like maybe there's something about like not having the stamina to move forward, and that can be part of the reason why you're moving back. But I feel like it's more than that. I feel like maybe you weren't really finished with this situation as far as an experience that's meant to be had with this. Like maybe something didn't fully click for you yet, and you may have thought that it did before, but it didn't, and you can feel called back for that reason. Because it's feeling like a return. Interesting. 8 of Cups reversed. Looking at Ace of Wands, you had the option to leave this and go through a different door. That would have taken you, it seems like, far away from this situation, but instead it feels like, I don't know if calling it a regression is right, but okay, let's use an example for this. It can be that maybe you're unhappy within a relationship with another person, and you have an opportunity to exit and maybe connect with somebody that it would be like a fresh opportunity that you'd have with another person, but it could be different, or it can be kind of like taking you away from this past situation. So you have the option of like leaving that situation and moving into another situation. That the opportunity was there for you to be able to do that, but it would have taken you very much out of that old cycle if you went through this door. Having 8 of Cups reverse can mean that you saw that a door was open for you to exit this situation, and that you were considering it, but then you could have been like, no, it's like too hard to break the cycle of this, like I'm going back in it, I'm gonna like get back together with that person. It can be something like that. So instead of taking the new option, you could have returned to what was familiar to you and what you knew. And you could have gotten to a point where you were like, I don't want to do this anymore, and you were really considering stepping into a new opportunity. I'm just using a relationship as an example. It doesn't have to be that specifically. But yeah, this seems like then you were like, never mind, and went back to where you kind of began. And now now you have the option, I think, to entertain either of these things. So it's like you can stay within what you've been in or like return to where you were, or you can forge ahead, but it's going to be a new and different energy. And maybe you're at a point now where like, I don't know which one. Seems like it's really important for you to be balanced emotionally as you're considering all of this. I'm seeing Aquarius come out here. I think the question is about what intention you have for yourself and where you're going. And that can tell you which option is going to be the right option for you to make here. Think about your future. Think about what you want for your future. Think about ideally what you would like to be happening, and it seems like that can determine for you. I think that's going to be a good guide. Like, where do you want to go? What intention do you have for yourself? And which choice supports that intention that you have for yourself? I think something too that can be a question with this is that if you were in a situation and it wasn't working and you were like, I think that I'm done with this, and you were looking for new opportunity, if you return, is that same thing going to happen again where you're like, yeah, I already came to this conclusion, I don't know why I came back to it, like I don't actually want this, you know? Or did something happen where maybe you thought the grass was going to be greener on the other side and you were like, you know what, I should stick around with this, and maybe it's not that bad, or like maybe this could actually work, and maybe that ends up being it for you. But I think the question is about, like, either way you're going to have a new chapter, whether you're returning to something familiar or you're moving towards something new. And the question is, which of those options is really going to take you where you want to be going? And which option may take you away from really what you intend for yourself? And to make sure that you're making a choice that connects with the deeper intention that you have for yourself and for your path. And to make the choice from a place where you feel empowered and where there is hope and inspiration for your future, and not just doing what is the default or you feel comfortable with. You know, it's like, am I coming back to something because it's what I know, but it doesn't really feel like the best direction for me to go in? The other side of that can be like, am I running away from this situation because I don't really want to deal with it, but there's work that I need to do here? That can be something. I think it's also about asking why you feel the way that you do, and like what beliefs those are connected with, and if those are things that you want to be honoring and subscribing to. That's something that will help you as well. Something too that you can ask yourself is like, what do you want to be spending your time doing? Do you want to spend it on a new opportunity? And that, like, ideally, if you got to choose what you were putting your energy into, and you chose the more favorable thing, like the thing that that agrees with you most, like, this is how I'm going to be using my energy. Is it returning to something, or is it breaking into a new energy and going through a different door this time? What would feel like the better option for you to dedicate yourself to? Because it seems like you're going to be dedicated either way. So what cycle feels more valuable to you, that it would be a good thing for you to be dedicated to? And that can really be the answer to your question here, and give you nudge that you need in either direction. I'm hearing Sagittarius, I'm looking at Aquarius, I'm also hearing Leo and Libra. I'm looking at Aquarius, and we also have Aries here. All right, and we have Gemini on the bottom of the deck. We are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting and tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.